Now let's talk about replacing the spring pulley, the step chain, and the drive hub assembly. It's important when you're working with snap rings to wear your safety goggles. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do when you're working on this assembly is you want to take the tension off of your spring by pulling up on it. Now, the reason that we're starting with the spring pulley is that over time this could develop a flat spot, and that'll result in some roughness in the pedals. The other thing is that as the drive hub assembly starts to develop problems, you'll feel clicking, you might hear some grinding sounds, or your pedal could stick in one position. It usually happens on one side, which indicates the drive hub assembly. So let's take our snap ring removal tool and make sure and put this in the safe place. They're easy to lose. I like to put it right there in the pulley. Now, after you've removed the pulley, it's easy to inspect it. Make sure you don't have any flat spots. Okay. Now, you can lay your pedal down, and then you can start taking off your snap rings. Now, if we look at this other unit, you'll notice that the drive hub assembly is a lot different. This one is adjustable. These units are the ones that you would most likely replace a drive hub assembly on. The SC916 hasn't had very many problems at all with that section. So the difference here is that there's different holes going around the outside of this assembly, which allows you to turn the entire drive hub. When you turn the drive hub assembly, this drive chain can become tighter or looser, depending on the position that you choose. Okay, so now we'll take a look back over here at the SC916 so that we can take off our master link and remove the chain assembly. Some people like to take off this bracket first, so that seems to be convenient. Let's try that. Okay, I'm going to get my socket wrench with a 7/16 socket on the end with the nut. I use a 7/16 on the other end to anchor it. The good thing about removing these top two bolts is that you've taken your drive hub assembly halfway out by then. There's the first one. There we go. Now, with our brackets out of the way, we can easily take off our master link. So, the spring is open on this end to allow you to angle it in case you want to remove it that way. We lubricate these chains with 30 weight oil. So when you put the new chain on, make sure and lubricate it, and then take a rag to clean off any excess. It can be a little tricky to remove this master link, but I like to use a pair of snap ring pliers to separate the clip. Once one end of the clip comes off, then it's pretty easy to work it out of the way. There we go. there's our step chain. Okay. I'm going to go get a new step chain so we can put the new one on this machine. Now we have the new drive chain and spring pulley assembly. It's important to make sure that all of the links on the chain flex. The difference between this drive hub assembly on the SC916 and the ones on the 4400 and 4600s are that this one only has 4 bolt positions, whereas the 44 and 4600 have hole positions all around the hub, which means you can rotate the hub to adjust this drive chain tension. Alright, we are ready to attach the new chain. Push this through. And attach our hardware. Then we'll go ahead and remove the drive hub assembly. It takes a little bit of work sometimes to get the clip in place because you've got a little bit of 30-weight oil on your fingers, most likely. There we go. Now we only need to remove these bottom 2 bolts because we've already removed the top 2, so we can get to our chains. Tension on the pulley, on the spring. It goes around the spring pulley. So that we move the chain out of the way. Shouldn't take very long to remove a drive hub assembly. Okay. And there we have it. The drive hub assembly consists of some different sprockets. But as we look at this snap ring, it's important to know that you don't need to take this off. The drive hub assembly can be removed complete. These are one-way sprockets. They engage in one direction and slip in the other direction. When it slips in both directions, we would replace it. Obviously, if it catches in any position, then we have a problem. This end carries the drive chain. Each one of these sprockets carries the step chain from the left and the right side. Now that we've explained that, we can go ahead and put this new drive hub assembly in. Just the same way that it came out, we thread it back through and put our drive chain around here. You might have to wiggle the hub a little bit just to get the drive chain on perfectly. There you go. Now, I always keep a rag nearby because you want to make sure that your bolts don't slip out of your hand. I take one bolt to anchor the assembly and I put it through. Then I'm free to put the others in one by one. Now this is going to come back out. This is only here to hold the hub in place while we get the others lined up. But we need this to come out so that we can put our guards back when we're all done. Okay, put the bottom one in, and then we'll start tightening. I don't tighten these completely down until I've got all of my bolts in, so that we don't strip out the bolts. Almost there. Okay. With the new hub in, we can thread the chains over the top, and like we did before, we're going to lift up the pedal so that we have some chain to work with. Make sure not to let this chain go because the pedal will drop. Okay, so now that we've got the spring attached, it's okay to let the pedal down again. Now, I still have my safety glasses on, so I should be able to install the spring pulley. Okay, now we'll thread the spring underneath, pull up, and re-tension it. There you go, nice and tight. We'll do the same on the other side. After we get the chain attached, and then we're almost done. The last step is to reinstall our guards. Make sure to have all the bolts facing the same direction. Okay, nice and tight. And that concludes the drive hub assembly, drive chain, step chain, and spring pulley replacement procedure.